Hey guys, this is installment number 3 in the 1969 World Series replay. Game number 3. Game number 1 was played using Stratomatic board game. Game 2 was played using Payoff Pitches board game. Game 3 I'm going to shift to the computer this time, and we're going to use the Diamond Mind computer game to play out Game 3. Game 4, I'm going to play with Replay Baseball, and that'll be Game 4. But Game 3, we're shifting to the computer, and we're going to let Diamond Mine Baseball figure this one out. I'm going to manage both teams. I'm going to let the computer make some of the decisions in-game for Baltimore. However, I am controlling all the substitutions, so I'm going to decide who pinch hits, when pitching changes are made, or so forth. The computer will decide when they want to steal or take an extra base and so forth. And the starting lineups for Game 3 here at Shea. Leading off is Don Buford in left field. Batting second is Paul Blair in center field. Hitting third is the right fielder Frank Robinson. Batting cleanup is Boog Powell. Batting fifth is third baseman Brooks Robinson. Hitting sixth and back in the lineup as the catcher, Elrod Hendricks. Batting seventh and future Mets manager Davey Johnson. He will be playing second base. Hitting eighth is the shortstop Mark Belanger. And on the mound is Jim Palmer, wearing more than just his underwear. All right, we go to the Mets. Now, the first two games, the Orioles pitched left-handed pitchers, so the Mets loaded their lineup with right-handed batters. Now that Palmer is a righty, the Mets go back to their left-handed hitting lineup, so their lineup has got quite a bit of a shakeup. Leading off is Tommy Agee. Batting second and playing third base is Wayne Garrett. Batting third and playing left field is Cleon Jones. Hitting the cleanup spot in right field is Art Shamsky. Batting fifth and playing second base is Ken Boswell. Hitting sixth and playing first base is Ed Kranepool. Batting seventh and catching is Jerry Grody. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is Bud Harrelson. And batting ninth and on the mound for the Mets, Gary Gentry. Okay guys, no board game for this one. This is strictly PC. And as you can see, we've got the Mets in the field here at Shea, facing the Orioles, top of the first. And you can see Don Buford, his picture there as the leadoff batter, and Gary Gentry as the pitcher. So for those who are not familiar with Diamond Mine Baseball, I did a video on that, actually 2 videos on that, about the basic play and how it works. So to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and play this just as if everyone is familiar with it. And again, I am managing the Mets completely, and I'm managing the Orioles as far as substitutions and letting the computer do everything else. So we get started, and the first pitch comes to Buford. Now this game, of course, has no sound to it. And the only graphics are these pictures of the players and the stadium. So a lot of it is use your imagination and just read the text. Don't know how entertaining I'll be, but I'll see what I can do. So to start things off, the 2-2 pitch, a whistling line drive down the left field line, Jones giving chase, and it falls in for a base hit. Jones cuts it off. Buford opens the game with a single. So Buford starts out with a single. There he is right there. Now, he's an excellent runner. His steal rating is just fair, so don't know if they're going to have him steal or not. What the computer manager is going to do, I'm going to play it straight up, play for double play depth against Paul Blair. Here's the next pitch. 2-2 pitch, hit well out to center field. Agee retreats a few steps and makes the catch for 1 away. So, leaping grab as that ball took off on him, and he adjusted properly. And there's 1 away, and that'll bring up Frank Robinson. So Frank Robinson is up. The 2-1 pitch. A liner right at Harrelson. Snap throw to first. Not in time, so they were not able to double off Buford. He made it back. There are now 2 outs. And Boog Powell is the batter. Big Boog Powell. And let's see what happens with Boog. Buford gets his lead. The pitch to Powell. Look out! Gentry buzzes him under the chin, and it's not held by Grody. It's loose behind the plate. Buford moves up to second and has scored a wild pitch. So Buford uncorks Gentry uncorks a wild pitch, almost nailing Boog Powell. It does send Buford to second with 2 outs. And now Powell has a chance to drive him in. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the next pitch. It's up to a full count now. Gentry delivers, bounces it in the dirt, getting away from Grody. Buford bluffs and holds, and Powell will take first on the walk. So now we've got runners at first and second as Gentry gets a little wild. And that'll turn it over to Brooks Robinson now. There is a force at any of the 3 bases, so we'll see what happens with Brooks. Second pitch to Robinson. Gets away from Grody, probably a wild pitch. And I think Grody was crossed up. So Buford moves up a base. Powell moves to second. It's the second wild pitch of the inning for Gentry. So he is unusually wild here. And with 2 outs, we keep the infield back, obviously. And here is Robinson with 2 runners in scoring position. We'll see what happens. 2-1 delivery. Whacked into the left field corner. That ball is going to get out of here, and it does. It's a 3-run shot for Brooks Robinson, and the Orioles take a 3-0 lead. 3-0 lead for Brooks, thanks to Brooks Robinson. And the Orioles grab a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first. Here is Elrod Hendricks. Elrod Hendricks, the pitch is on its way. Lazy fly ball to right center. Shamsky is there. Pulls it in, and the inning is finally over. But the Orioles score 3 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and no one left. At the end of the half inning, it's the Orioles 3 and the Mets coming to bat. There you see a very young Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer will be facing Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee will be the batter to start things off. So we'll swing away here. The 0-1 count. It's the pitch to Agee. Agee sends a fly to left. He just missed it. Got under it. Buford is there, and there's 1 away. So that'll bring up the second man in the order, Wayne Garrett. And here's the pitch. 0-1 pitch on its way. Grounder out to Robinson at third. He throws over. It bounces. And a nice scoop by Boog Powell to save the error. It's a 5-3 putout. 2 away. And now Cleon Jones steps to the plate. 2 outs, base is empty. Count even at 2. Palmer works. Bounce to the right side. In the hole, Powell. He won't make it back to the bag, but Palmer will. And the side is retired. That's a 3-1 putout. And the Mets go quietly here in the first. After 1 inning from Shea, it's the Orioles 3 and the Mets nothing. Up now is Davey Johnson. For some reason, I do not have a picture on file for him for this season, so it's blank. And let's see what Gentry can do if he can recover from that first inning. Here's the pitch. Jammed him in a pop-up into shallow center. Harrelson and Boswell go back for it. Agee's coming in, still coming, and he's there. So Agee able to make the play coming in shallow center. There's 1 away. It's beginning to rain. It's coming down hard. They're stopping the game and putting the tarp on the field. It's a rain delay. Still raining. Still raining. Still raining. The rain has stopped. They're removing the tarp. The teams are taking the field. The game was delayed for 66 minutes. Now there was, if we go to the box score, the box score originally talked about a wet field, and there was actually a 52-minute rain delay before the game started. And then now we've had a 66-minute rain delay. So that's kind of indicative to what happened in the ALCS with Toronto and Kansas City. They had that big rain delay. Usually when that happens, it says the pitcher's arm stiffens and they have to replace him. But it didn't say that here, but we'll keep an eye on both Gentry and Palmer and see what happens. So here is Belanger. Belanger, the batter. 1-2 pitch away, but Belanger swings and misses for strike 3. So 2 outs very quickly here in the second, and Jim Palmer steps to the plate. 2-2 delivery, hit out to left field, shallow left field, and Jones has it to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the second, still 3-0. Leading off for the Mets is Art Shamsky. Art Shamsky. The pitch to Shamsky, bounce to short, cut off by Robinson on a nice grab, throws over, and Shamsky is out. One away, and that'll bring up Ken Boswell, the second baseman. 2-2 on Boswell. Palmer delivers. A swing and a miss. Boswell chasing a high fastball, and he's out of here. So I'll see if I can get a little zoom here to get the play-by-play in focus a little bit better, if I can. Try to hold it steady for you. I don't do a very good job of that, obviously. Here is Ed Kranepool. Here it comes. Kranepool hits it hard on the ground up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Belanger can't get it. Neither can Johnson. And it's a base hit into center field for Ed Kranepool. 2-out single. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jerry Grody. So we'll see what Grody can do. 2-2 pitch. Grounder wide of first. Through the hole. Into right field for a hit. Ed Kranepool makes the turn at second. Do they want to try to send him? Well, we don't usually make the third out at third base, and plus they're down 3-0, so I'm going to go ahead and hold him there, even though he may have made third, but we're not going to take that chance. So with 2 outs, Bud Harrelson is the batter. 2-0 pitch. Harrelson gets under it and pops it to short. Belanger waves everybody off, moves in towards the mound, and pulls it in to retire the side. After 2 complete, it's the Orioles 3 and the Mets nothing. Top of the third, Don Buford is on. Buford standing in. Here's the payoff pitch. Chopper to the right side. Boswell retreating. And he throws him out. 4-3, ground out, 1 away. That'll bring up Paul Blair. Blair facing Gentry. Flied out to deep center his last time up. Here's the 1-1 offering. Lifted out to left center. A long run for Agee, but he has it all the way. 2 outs here in the top of the third very quickly. And that brings up Frank Robinson. Now the right-handed Robinson, a ball and a strike. Gentry pitches. Ground ball hit to third. Garrett down to his knees to play it. Straightens up. Throws over. And Robinson is retired. So down go the Orioles in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, still 3-0. And the pitcher, Gary Gentry, to lead things off for the Mets. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Palmer. Struck him out. So there's 1 away as Palmer dropped a curve in there for a called strike 3. Top of the order, Tommy Agee. Agee the batter. Lofted to Buford his last time up. The 2-strike pitch. Agee swings and he misses. So Palmer gets a swinging strikeout this time. Caught looking and a swinging strikeout for the first 2 outs. And Wayne Garrett, third baseman, steps up. Grounded out to third his first time up. Palmer has the sign. Here's the pitch. Lifts the pitch out to right center. Blair on the run, and he makes the catch. So Blair hauls it in. Innings over. After 3 complete, it is still the Orioles 3 and the Mets nothing. Boo Powell leads off the fourth. Here's Powell. 2-2 pitch. This one's hit very well. Deep center field. Back goes Agee, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Agee covering some ground out there. Here is Brooks Robinson. He of the big 3-run homer. Steps up this time. 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Gentry had him way out front on a change of pace, and Brooks swung right through it. So there are now 2 away, and that'll bring up Elrod Hendricks. Hendricks stands in, the 0-1 pitch, lines 1 to second. Boswell jumps, but it's out of his reach, and that'll be a base hit as Shamsky cuts it off. And Hendricks with a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Davy Johnson. Johnson the batter. Johnson stands in, infield pop-up in the second. Here's a stretch from Gentry, 2-2 pitch. Johnson jumps on a curveball, lining it to center field for a base hit. Hendricks will stop at second. So runners at first and second, 2 down for Mark Belanger. Mark Belanger struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch from Gentry. Grody setting up inside, and that's away from the target and going back to the backstop. Hendricks takes third. Johnson moves into scoring position. It's yet another wild pitch for Gary Gentry. Now Belanger is up, and first base is open with Palmer, the pitcher, batting next. So with the count 1-0, we're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Mark Belanger. And that will load the bases. That will load the bases for Palmer, so we can see if we can get Palmer to get out of the inning. So Palmer is up, bases loaded, 2 outs. And here's the pitch from Gentry. 1-2 pitch. Fastball jammed and popped to short right field. Shamsky coming in. And he's there to make the play. And the Orioles leave him loaded here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-0 in favor of the Orioles. So Cleon Jones will lead off the bottom of the 4th. And Jones opens it up. To wind up in the pitch from Palmer. There's a blast deep into center field. Blair going back. Slips on the wet grass, but he maintains his footing and makes the running catch. It's a little treacherous out there, but he was able to maintain his footing and make the grab. Here's Art Shamsky, right fielder. Palmer gets the sign. 3-1 pitch. Kick and delivery, and it's a breaking ball. Hangs up and in for ball 4. So Shamsky draws a 1-out walk. 1-out walk, and that'll bring up second baseman Ken Boswell. So Boswell, strikeout victim his earlier time up. 3-1 pitch is ball 4. So Palmer has walked 2 in a row. Hendricks appealing to third, but they're not going to have anything to do with it. It's a walk. So runners at first and second now for Ed Kranepool, representing the tying run against Palmer. Here's Kranepool. Singled his last time up. Here's a 3-2 pitch from Palmer. It's a high pop foul coming back toward the screen. Should get out of play, and it does. So we maintain the 3-2 count. And interestingly enough, with the 3-2 count and only 1 out, we could send the runners to avoid the double play, and that's what I shall do. I'm going to try a hit and run. I'm going to trust that Kranepool will not strike out. I'm going to go ahead and send the runners via a hit and run. Here's the payoff pitch. The runners are off, chopped off the plate. Going to be a tough play for Robinson, and he gets Kranepool at first. Terrific play by Brooks. The runners do move up to second and third now, but there are 2 outs. And it'll be Jerry Grody, the batter, but a base hit could score 2. Here's Grody. Base hit back in the second. It's a 1-strike pitch. Long fly ball into the alley and right. Both Blair and Robinson in pursuit. No one will get to this ball. It'll roll to the fence. Shamsky scores. Right behind him is Boswell. He'll score. And the score is now 3-2 on the double by Jerry Grody. Actually, he slides in with a triple. I take that back. He was heading with the head full of steam around second, and he made it to third. So a rare triple for catcher Jerry Grody. It's a 3-2 ball game now, and Bud Harrelson, the batter. Bud Harrelson. So we'll see if they walk him intentionally or pitch to him. 3-2 pitch to Harrelson. Palmer works. Misses with a slider, and it's a walk. So runners are on the corners now. And a light rain is beginning to fall. So Gary Gentry is up, but with all the rain delays and everything else going on, I'm going to go ahead and pinch hit for him and bring in a relief pitcher. So in this case, they're going to go to one of their backup catchers, J.C. Martin. He's a lefty. So we're going to go with J.C. Martin. So J.C. Martin is going to pinch hit for Gentry. There he is, J.C. Martin. J.C. Martin is going to pinch hit in a big spot to see if he can drive home the run from third. Here's the at-bat as it occurs. 0-2 pitch. Here's a line shot down the first base line. Powell to his left, and he catches it for the out. So Boog got over there and got it before it got down the line. And that does it for the Mets here in the 4th. 2 runs will score, and after 4 complete, it is the Orioles 3 and the Mets 2. So now bullpen time, as we have to go to the bullpen early today. And it's going to be Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan is going to come on and pitch. So Nolan Ryan will take over. There is the young Nolan Ryan. So he will come on in the 5th and start with the top of the order, Don Buford. On the mound for New York, Nolan Ryan. Fastball on the curve. Buford will lead it off. Here's the delivery. Broken bat looper to shallow right center, cut off by Agee. Buford's going for two, a loopy throw coming in, and he's safe. Hook slide into the bag, and Buford beat the tag. So leadoff double for Don Buford, and the Orioles have something going here in the fifth. Here is Paul Blair. Paul Blair stepping up. Fly out to left center his last time up. Big time speed at second in Buford. Here's the pitch to Blair. Grody setting up low and away, and it is low and away, and it's strike three called looking. So Blair caught looking, one away, and that brings up Frank Robinson. And here's the delivery. Robinson is 0 for 2 in the game. It's a 3-1 pitch from Ryan, kick and delivery. Hits it into the air to left field. He didn't get it, I don't believe. It's a lazy fly to left, and he's out as Cleon Jones makes the catch. Buford will have to hold at second. And now with 2 outs, Boog Powell is at the plate. Now first base is open, so I'm going to intentionally walk Boog Powell because I don't trust Boog Powell. So we're going to walk Powell intentionally and go after Brooks Robinson. I know Brooks hit the 3-run homer, but that was off Gentry, not off of Ryan. So New York will not fool around with Powell. They'll give them the intentional pass, and that'll bring up Brooks Robinson. Big situation, 2 on, 2 out. And here's the pitch. The delivery, fastball belted to right center, long run for Shamsky. He will get there. And with the ball coming back to him, off the right-handed hitter's bat, it angled back to him, and he was able to make the play. So the Mets escaped the fifth with no damage. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's the Orioles 3, the Mets 2. Top of the order, Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee. 0-2 delivery from Palmer, and he misses a pitch off the plate. Hendricks scoops it up on a hop and tags Agee for the strikeout. One away for Wayne Garrett. Garrett with his steps into the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Garrett. Palmer offers. Swung on, bounce to the right side. Johnson with the grab, throws to first. And that's a 4-3 putout. Quickly 2 away here in the fifth. And that brings up Cleon Jones, the left fielder. Cleon Jones. Pitch is on its way. Jones wails it to right, but Robinson has a beat on it all the way. And the inning is over. So after 5 complete, it's the Orioles 3 and the Mets 2. Okay, we start the top of the 6th, and as we get closer to the later part of the ball game, sometimes I like to, on my board here, just give me a mental reminder of who's available on the bench for both teams. Clay Dalrymple, Andy Etchebarren, Bobby Floyd, Kurt Motton, Merv Retman, Dave May, and Chico Simone are available on the bench for the Orioles. Ed Charles, Don Clendenin, Duffy Dyer, Rod Gaspar, Ron Swoboda, and Al Weiss are available on the bench for the Mets. So it's just something for me to keep in mind for myself and just anybody else that's interested to see who was on the bench. Didn't write down the bullpen, just wrote down the bench for now. So, top of the 6th starts off with Elrod Hendricks facing Nolan Ryan in his second inning of work. And we'll see what Nolan can do. 2-2 offering, hit hard. Cranepool can't get it. It's a long run for Shamsky. He cuts it off and able to hold the slow-running Hendricks to a single. So Elrod Hendricks with a leadoff single. That'll bring up Davey Johnson. Johnson is up. He had a base hit his last time up. Ryan from the stretch. Here it comes. Johnson squares around. Baltimore looking to extend their lead. Nice bunt. All Ryan can do is give the ball to Boswell. And Hendricks makes it to second. It's a 1-4 sacrifice hit. So there's 1 out. And Hendricks now in scoring position for the bottom of the order. And here's Mark Belanger, number 8 hitter. And Ryan steps to the plate, on the slab to pitch to Belanger. It's grounded off the glove of a diving Garrett into left field for a single. Elrod Hendricks rounds third. He's going for home. and I have to decide if I want to try to throw it home or cut the runner and not let him get to second. With a slow-running Elrod Hendricks, I'm going to take a chance, since I'm down one anyway, and try to throw Hendricks out at the plate. So here we go. The throw goes home. Belanger is going for second. Do I want to cut it and go to second? No, I do not. So let's see what happens. There will be a play at the plate. Oh, man. Hendricks came in hard, shoulder and elbow, getting the best of the physical battle, but he's out. Grody never lost control of the ball. So Cleon Jones throws out Elrod Hendricks at the plate. Belanger does take second on the throw, but the run is cut off. Score remains 3-2, and now Jim Palmer, pitcher, steps up with 2 outs, and Belanger at second. And that'll bring up a situation where Palmer can see if he can help himself. Here's the 1-2 pitch, Ryan's pitch. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. So, but the ball gets away from Grody. Palmer's going to try and reach, but he'll be thrown out 2-3. So the inning is over. The top of the 6th is over. Orioles had a chance, but Cleon Jones throwing out Elrod Hendricks to end the threat. Bottom of the 6th is up, and Art Shamsky, the batter, facing Palmer. Let's see what he can do. 2-1 pitch. Sinking liner over third, and that's a fair ball. Buford keeps it out of the corner, and Shamsky, who doesn't have a lot of speed, will hold at second with a long single. So Shamsky's on. He is a poor runner. We're not going to substitute just yet. It's a little early for pinch running. So if he gets in scoring position, we might do something. But Ken Boswell is up. Ken Boswell. Now, we could do a hit and run here, because the hit and run really is on the batter, not the runner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to try a hit and run and see if Boswell can get the job done. Here's the pitch. There goes Shamsky. Line drive to short. It goes through for a single. Art Shamsky is past second. Do I want to try for third? No, I'm going to hold him up because he's a slow runner. But runners are at first and second with nobody out. And Ed Cranepool, the batter. Ed Cranepool, we'll see what he can do. Cranepool, the batter, rounded out in the 4th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Palmer works. It's lifted to shallow right center, and Frank Robinson calls for it, handles it for the out. 1 away, not deep enough for any advance. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jerry Grody. Jerry Grody had that big triple, 2-run triple his last time up. See what he can do this time. Grody, 2 for 2 on the day. 1-2 pitch from Palmer. Palmer works to Grody, way high and away, and a nice grab by Hendricks. So it's still 2-2 pitch. Nothing happened on that, so we'll keep it going here. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Grody. Palmer deals. Grody swings and a misses. He struck him out. So out number 2 here in the 6th, and that brings up Bud Harrelson as the last chance in the inning. Harrelson moves in to hit. He walked in the 4th. Here's a 3-2 from Palmer. There go the runners. It's a swinging bunt off to the left. Hustling in is Brooks Robinson. The on-the-run one-hop throw is in time. And the umpire down there getting some grief about the call. But it doesn't matter. He's out 5-3. If that's a umpire in history maker baseball, he's probably a strict umpire, which is not taking any grief from anybody. So the inning is over. Mets threaten but do not score. After 6 complete, it is the Orioles 3 and the Mets 2. And Don Buford steps in. Nolan Ryan for his 3rd inning of work. And here is Buford. Doubled his last time up. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and he takes ball 4. It's taken all the way. So now that'll bring up Paul Blair. Buford can run, so we don't know if he's going to do anything. We'll try a pickoff and see what happens. Number 2 hitter Blair. Quick move to first base. High throw. Cranepool jumps, and he makes a nice grab on it to prevent the error. So almost had a bad play there. So we'll go ahead and just pitch to Blair now normally. Forget the pickoff stuff. Ryan to pitch to Blair. Blair opens up the bunt. He pulls the bat back and takes up an in for ball 1. So We'll go ahead and play the infield at the corners to watch for the bunt. Buford gets his lead, 1-0 count. Blair is sacrificing, pushed foul off to the right. So 1-1 count. We'll still keep the corners in until there's 2 strikes. So here's the pitch to Blair. Hit right back where it came from, could be 2, but Ryan fumbles it to the ground. No double play, no outs at all. And now there are 2 men on base on the error by Nolan Ryan. He was looking for bunt, and he got a hard shot back to him and wasn't able to handle it. So now runners are at first and second with nobody out. And Frank Robinson is at the plate. So this is a critical at bat for Ryan to try to keep this game close. Here's Frank Robinson. Fly out to left as last time. Up to 3-0 pitch from Ryan. And he lays off, and it's a ball 4. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. Bases loaded, nobody out. And it looks like Gil Hodges is going to go to the bullpen. He's seen enough of Nolan Ryan. And we're going to go to Tug McGraw. Now the pitcher spot is scheduled to lead off the next inning. So it looks like it's going to be a double switch here. Double switch. And the double switch, Don Clendenin is going to come on and bat 9th. And he will play first base. So Clendenin double switches and plays first base. And the new pitcher, Tug McGraw, is going to come on, and he will hit in Cranepool's number 6 spot. So that double switch has been completed now. And Tug McGraw is in there to face Boog Powell, lefty on lefty. Bases are loaded. We're going to play normal depth, looking for a double play to see if we can minimize the damage. Tug McGraw in to pitch to Boog Powell. Tug McGraw. Lefty on lefty. Tug with a 2-0 pitch. Powell pops it in back of the plate. Grody back for a look, but it's in the stands. So the count is 2-1. So the next pitch to Powell. It's grounded hard to short. This should be 2. Harrelson takes it to Boswell to second at 1. Over to first. Double play. So the run does score, but they do give up. They do get the double play to try to minimize the damage. It is now 4-2, but now it's a runner at third and 2 outs for Brooks Robinson. But we're not going to pitch to Brooks Robinson because we have the left-handed hitting Elrod Hendricks on deck. So we're going to intentionally walk Brooks Robinson. And that'll put runners at the corners. Now the computer could pinch hit for Hendricks, but I'm the computer manager, and with a lead, I'm not going to mess up the battery. I want to keep the pitcher-catcher battery the same. So Elrod Hendricks will bat for himself, and that'll bring up a lefty-on-lefty matchup for McGraw facing Hendricks. Hendricks steps in, 0-1 count. McGraw's pitch. It's rolled to Harrelson. Flips to Boswell for the force, and the inning is over. But the Orioles do pick up a run. And the score now after 6.5 is the Orioles 4 and the Mets 2. 7th inning stretch time from Shea. Okay, as we start the bottom of the 7th, just a reminder, with that double switch, Don Clendenin is now in the number 9 slot at playing first base. And Tug McGraw is in the 6th position as the pitcher in Cranepool's old position. Bottom of the 7th, up for the Mets now is Don Clendenin, and he'll be followed by Agee and Garrett. So Don Clendenin, and there he is. Don Clendenin will be up to face Palmer. Start the bottom of the 7th. We'll see what Clendenin can do. Looped out to shallow right. Johnson chasing back, and he makes a tough running catch as both Blair and Robinson were asleep on the play, but Davy Johnson bailed him out. So there's one away for back to the top of the order, and Tommy Agee. Agee steps in. Count is full. Palmer works to Agee. Breaking ball. Nearly bouncing into the strike zone. That was enough to entice Agee. He goes down swinging. So quickly 2 away. And that'll bring up Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett, number 2 hitter. Palmer on the rubber. Plate protection here at 1 and 2. A swing and a fly ball to left field. Backstepping is Buford, and he makes the grab. So after 7 complete, it is the Orioles 4 and the Mets 2. Doug McGraw in again for the next inning, and he'll be facing the bottom part of the Oriole order, Davey Johnson, Mark Belanger, and Jim Palmer. First, it'll be Davey Johnson. 2-1 pitch. Johnson fly ball to AG in center field. Lots of room out there, and there's one away. Orioles now in defensive mode trying to protect that lead. Here is Belanger. Belanger, 1 hit so far today. 1-2 pitch. Squirted to the right side. The play is made by Boswell, and Belanger is out. So 2 down. And Jim Palmer, let's see how many pitches he's thrown in this game. He's thrown 107 pitches, and with the rain, the combination of the rain and the 100 pitches, we're going to go ahead and pinch hit for him and let the bullpen take care of the rest. So pinch hitting for the Orioles will be with the left-hander on the mound in McGraw. It'll be Chico Simone. So Chico Simone, there he is, Chico Simone. Chico, I don't know where the man is, but the Chico's right here. So Chico Simone is up to face Tug McGraw with 2 outs and the base is empty. And here's the pitch. 1-2 on Simone. McGraw offers. Ground ball right to third. There was Garrett retiring the side. So that didn't work, but that's okay because Palmer needed to have some relief anyway. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-2. And as we look at the Met lineup, who they have coming up to bat, it's Jones, Shamsky, and Boswell. Now, 2 of those are left-handed batters. So do we have a lefty in the bullpen we trust? Looks like Pete Rickard. Pete Rickard is going to come on and pitch in relief. So there's Pete Rickard. Pete Rickard will face Cleon Jones, who's a righty, and then there's 2 lefty batters, Shamsky and Boswell, although the Mets have righties on their bench, so we'll see what happens. First things first, here's Rickard facing Cleon Jones. Weaver has brought in Rickard. The number 3 hitter Jones is in. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Rickard's pitch. Squibber to the left side. A seeing eye single between Robinson and Belanger. So leadoff hitter is on, and that'll bring up Shamsky. Now the question is, do they let Shamsky hit or do they pinch hit with Swoboda? And they're going to go to the bench here and pinch hit with Ron Swoboda. So Ron Swoboda is on as a pinch hitter. There he is, Ron Swoboda. So he's going to pinch hit. And in the bullpen for the Orioles, they do have Eddie Watt warming up in the bullpen in case he is needed. So here is Swoboda facing Rickard. Payoff pitch, ball 4. So Rickard's running into problems here. May have had the corner. Rickard is not happy, and now there's 2 on and nobody out for Ken Boswell. And the Mets may be looking at a pinch hitter here. And it looks like they are going to bring in a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Ed Charles. So Ed Charles is going to pinch hit here in this situation. Ed Charles pinch hitting, but now Weaver will counteract that by bringing in relief ace Eddie Watt. So Eddie Watt is going to come on for Rickard. Eddie Watt, there he is. Eddie Watt will be facing Ed Charles. With 2 on and nobody out, Ed Charles could be a bunting situation, but not with Ed Charles up. So we're going to go ahead and swing away. So let's see what happens. Watt checks the runner. Here it comes. It's a grounder to short. Might be able to turn 2. Belanger with the grab. Goes to second for 1. On to first. Double play. So Powell with the scoop gets that second out. Going over to third is Cleon Jones. And Eddie Watt comes in and does the job right away, forcing that double play. And now with Tug McGraw up, we will hit for McGraw. And they'll go to the left-handed hitting Rod Gaspar. So Rod Gaspar is going to pinch hit for McGraw. And there is Gaspar. He is going to hit, see if he can at least drive Jones home and cut the lead to 1 run. So here's the pitch from Watt to Gaspar. Hit on the ground to Robinson, over to first, and Gaspar is retired. So Mets can't do it here in the 8th, and after 8 complete, it's the Orioles 4 and the Mets 2. Okay, lots of changes for the Mets after that bottom of the 8th. Adrian Garrett will move from third base to second base. Ed Charles, who pinch hit, will stay in the game to play third base. Swoboda, who pinch hit for Shamsky, will stay in the game to play right field. And the new pitcher is Ron Taylor, and he's still hitting the number 6 slot. And coming up for the Orioles now in the top of the 9th, it will be the top of the order, Don Buford, Paul Blair, and Frank Robinson. So there is Ron Taylor, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Taylor's going to see if he can keep it right where it is. Here is Buford. So Taylor into pitch to Buford. A couple of hits and 4 trips so far. The windup and the pitch. Grounder right at the mound. Garrett far to his right. He has it. Goes to first. In time. And it's amazing when someone gets in a new fielding position, the first batter seems to find him with the ball. But Garrett up to the challenge. 1 away. And here is Paul Blair. Paul Blair. Taylor running through the signs. The delivery. Hard breaking ball lifted along the left field line, coming across the diving Jones. They called him out down there. The third base umpire says he made the catch from up here. It looked like it was kind of questionable. So maybe that's one of those history maker baseball questionable umpires that are out there, but we'll see. But they do call him out for out number 2, and that brings up Frank Robinson. Taylor's retired the first 2. Here's the pitch to Robinson. He hits one well to left, but not quite well enough. Jones there again to make the play, right in front of the warning track. And we go to the bottom of the 9th with the score, Orioles 4, Mets 2. And Eddie Watt still in there to try to shut it down. And he'll be facing Jerry Grody, Bud Harrelson, and Don Clendenin. But first is Jerry Grody. Grody steps in, 2 hits and 3 trips. The 2-1 pitch, ground ball past the mound. Coming in as Johnson takes it on a short hop, goes to first for the out, 1 away. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Bud Harrelson. And in case you're wondering about pinch hitters for the Mets, the only 2 players left on the bench are Duffy Dyer and Al Weiss. Neither one of those are better hitters than who they have in there right now. So Bud Harrelson will continue. He will go ahead and hit for himself, even though he's 0 for 2. So here's the pitch, high hopper off the plate. Hendricks waits for it to come down, guns it. Harrelson beats it out. So Bud Harrelson, with a little speed, was able to beat that out. He now represents the 3rd run if he can come in, and the tying run is at the plate now in Don Clendenin. Clendenin's a nice power hitter. However, he's mostly a platoon player. As you can see, he hit .318 on the year against lefties, only .202 against righties. So definitely a platoon disadvantage against the right-hander Eddie Watt, but we will see. He might be able to get into one. So Clendenin steps in. Watt from the set, the 0-2 pitch. Watt deals. Clendenin swings at a pitch in the dirt. Hendricks smothers it. And that's strike 3 with first base occupied. No throw is necessary. So 2 down, 1 out remaining to go, and it's the top of the order, Tommy Agee. Tommy Agee, he's got some power. Agee steps in. Looking long ball here. Watt eyes Harrelson, the 1-0 to Agee. Very high. It's off Hendricks' glove and goes all the way to the backstop. So Harrelson will go into scoring position on the wild pitch. That only thing that really accomplishes is it takes the force play out of it, because Harrelson's run really doesn't matter that much. Here's Agee. He is the important run. 2-0 pitch. The kick and delivery. High fly ball out to center field is caught by Blair as he retreats a few steps, and the ball game is over. Ball game is over. So there's our box score. Final score, Orioles 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 8 on. The Mets 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. They also left 8 on. Winning pitcher was Jim Palmer. He went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 3, struck out 6. The loser was actually Gary Gentry because he gave up those 3 runs in the first, and he only went 4 innings, giving up 4 hits and 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 2. The bullpen pitched well. Only the 1 unearned run was allowed in the final 5 innings by the Mets, but they could never get the offense going. Other than that 2-run triple by Grody, they really had nothing to show for it. So the Orioles, with the victory now, take a 2-1 series lead, and they get ready for Game 4, knowing that they're ahead 2-1, and they are guaranteed at a minimum to either win the series at Shea or go back to Memorial Stadium. So that's something for them to look forward to. So that's going to do it from here. Game 3 being played on the computer, Diamond Mine Baseball of the 69 series. And Game 4 will be coming up later, and that will be played with replay baseball. I don't have the cards for the 69 season. I do have the PC version, but I'm going to use the PC version to image the cards and play it with as I would if I had the cards, using the dice and doing everything manually, just using the computer to get the actual card values. So that might be a little interesting. We'll see. But from here, it is Game 3, all she wrote. Baltimore with the victory to go up 2-1. And that'll do it here from Shea.